love speedrunning Kirby, I really do, but I have to share a terrible, dark secret with all of you. I'm not the only one who does this. Shocker, I know, but there is a world of other Kirby speedrunners out there, each with their own unique styles and preferences. Obviously, for variety's sake, I just kind of do whatever the whims of whimsiness tell me what to do, but channel veterans, or as I like to think of you, pupperins, know which Kirby games I personally like to run the most. Return to Dreamland, Fighters 2, Dreamland 3, Dream Course, Amazing Mirror, Adventure UFO, of course it was the best game ever made, Superstar Ultra. I don't know, what can I say? I just like my Kirby games. But right there is why other people doing what I do is so amazing. Finding people that share in a passion, but are, another shocker here, different and individual people with their own playstyles and personality that make them not only a breath of fresh air compared to, you know, me who's aggressively pop, but also really fun to watch in their own with no outside context. And while there are literally hundreds of Kirby runners out there, I wanted to take the time to highlight some that I really like. I can't do it for all of you. I would need years to make a video for that, but still. With all this said, let's celebrate other Kirby speedrunners together! Yay! Oh, and also if you want to see everybody's socials, including Twitch and other things, then you can find that in the description. Yay!
Fireball is so goated. If you can't tell, I have a weird fetish for using Fireball instead of doing the burning attack. Because it's just more fun for me to use for some reason. Fireball fetish goes crazy. Sounds hot. Oh my god, Manta. Interesting choice of words, but I agree. Listen, don't question my Fireball fetish.
First up on our list of runners is GlitchAston. Aston is a very good Kirby runner for multiple categories, including any % no stone glitch for Kirby's Adventure, all stone stones for Kirby Triple Deluxe, and, perhaps most importantly, die % in Kirby Superstar. What's fun about Aston is definitely in part the vibe of their streams. It's one of those things where if it's 12 in the morning and I'm super tired, but I want to vibe before I go to bed, one of the first things that I do is look to see if Aston is live. Things happen in their streams, as you saw from the Fireball fetish clip from earlier. Don't worry, we got other clips to show. It won't only be that one. But the vibes of their streams are always some of my favorite things about them. I always feel like when I go there, I am just going to get a really laid back and relaxed time, which is also, in a sense, a ticking time bomb, because when something goes horribly wrong, well, you know, obviously, I can't even say gamer rage realistically. It's more just getting angry as you tend to do.
Oh my god, can somebody please clip that one? Please tell me somebody saw how the hell that shot missed.
Another really impressive thing about Aston is their performance for all classic Kirby games. That is a speedrun that can realistically take you, gosh, I don't know, 10 hours? Maybe even going a little lower, 6 to 7 if you're not very well practiced. Aston has a 5th place time in the world for that with 4 hours and 45 minutes. Being able to clear 6 games, even if one of them is Dreamland 1, in under 5 hours is always very impressive and something that I really like to see. Of course, they're not just a Kirby speedrunner. I do notice that sometimes they play Ace Attorney. On speedrun.com, I see they have times for Chessplosion, which is really epic, actually. I think that's kind of cool. I like the name Chessplosion also. But as what is the case for a lot of people that I'm making this video for, their focus is on Kirby, so you don't have to worry about that. At the time of this recording, Aston is currently learning and running Kirby Planet Robobot, which you already know I'm going to say that's one of the coolest games. I love Planet Robobot, and seeing any % done by a friend is actually really cool and really makes me want to run that category. I can't, of course, because I don't have a 3DS capture card, what's a pup to do, but actually getting that experience through someone else, it's part of the magic of learning Kirby speedruns, being a part of the community, all that stuff. What's cool about Aston when they're doing Kirby is that it's not the kind of thing where, take me for example, I run a game for a day and then because I'm on that content creator grind, I'm immediately moving on to the next one. That is not the case at all. Aston takes a lot of time to perfect their craft when they're running a speed game. For example, Planet Robobot, if you go on their page, you can see that 2 months ago, which is probably close to 3 at this point, they were learning and streaming Planet Robobot any percent still. This is not just a simple, short process of, I'm gonna pick up a game. You actually get to see somebody learn it, get better at it, and get really, really better at it.
No. Please somebody clip that. Please somebody clip Please somebody.
At the end of the day, yeah, of course I would recommend Aston. That's why they are in this video. As tempted as I am to say, oh, well, yeah, duh, I'd recommend them. They play Planet Robobot. Like, what more is there to say? Obviously, as I've been saying throughout this whole bit, there's a lot more than just Planet Robobot. And hey, this is also a Triple Deluxe player who, they enjoy the game, they do speedruns, things are super cool. They agree with me. Hypernova stinks. I'm not the only one. It's always so validating. There, that could be forget Planet Robobot. That could be the reason. They're with me. Heck Hypernova. Yeah, I said heck. What are you gonna do about it?
Okay, I still got ninja though, right? Wait, what was in my mouth? I had ninja in my mouth. Am I... Okay, Aiden, you saw that, right? You saw that. Okay, someone needs to clip that. Like, I'm being serious.
Up next, we have Pro Hybrid. Now, I gotta open this one right off the gate and say that I mostly know Hybrid for Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which, for those who don't know, while it's not one of my favorite Kirby speedruns, far from it, actually, it is my second favorite Kirby game in general, so I can latch right onto Return to Dreamland, even when it comes to speedrunning. I feel like watching any percent for Return to Dreamland is very fascinating. I kind of like watching it more than running it myself, but I should also mention that Hybrid did not just stick to the original like me. He is actually quite good at Return to Dreamland Deluxe as well, holding world records for categories like unrestricted any percent for the story mode and restricted for the extra mode for 100%, but also has great times for categories like any percent and hundo. Now, I guess I can also come out of the gate and say that Hybrid is not exclusively a Kirby's Return to Dreamland runner. Notably, he's got very good runs in Kirby 64, Amazing Mirror, even some good times for games like Adventure. I know I mentioned before with Aston for the classic Kirby games race, and Aston's time of 4:45 is amazing, but if we're literally going to talk about that, we should also talk about Hybrid, who very recently got the world record for that category, just slightly beating it in under 4.5 hours. This is why when you talk about speedrunning, saving seconds is such a big deal. You save enough of those seconds, maybe, just maybe, that can turn into 15 minutes, or 16 minutes if I can do math.
Please don't die. Like, please. There's literally a candy in the next room. All I need to do is get to the end of this room, and I am complete.
One of the things that I really, really like about Hybrid streams specifically, and also Hybrid speedruns, is that when I'm there, even though Hybrid is doing something as difficult as speedrunning, I can vouch that it is really, really hard. It always just feels very chill, whereas with Aston's, I just really love the vibes of the stream in general, that I can lay back and relax. I feel like I can have a regular old conversation with Hybrid. Of course I can have a conversation with Aston. Everybody knows you have conversations with your streamers. But Hybrid just has that feeling to it that you're having a conversation with a buddy and not just a streamer or speedrunner or whatever. And I really like it. It's kind of reminiscent of the vibes that I kind of try to go for. But whereas I am loud, I am crazy, I am holy moly whoa, Hybrid's a lot calmer and cooler. But similar to Aston, you know, when things get exciting or when anger-inducing happens, you know you're gonna get a good moment. Of course, there are games other than Kirby that Hybrid likes to play. He's not a one genre show, I guess. But there's just not much of a pattern to it. He does mostly tend to stick with the Kirby speedruns, and I can understand that. Obviously, I mean, look at me. What do I upload here other than Kirby? I do stream other things, but hey, what did I say? I'm not gonna beg. Also, shoutouts to Hybrid for actually doing IRL collaborations with other Kirby runners, doing things like multiplayer Amazing Mirror before we had access to it on NSO. I think that's pretty neat, actually. You don't really see a lot of speedrunners, at least on the Kirby end, do that, and as a VTuber, you're never going to see me do that. But that's just another one of the things that makes Hybrid fun, you know? It's kind of like what I was saying before. I was just really easy to hang around with. You get to visibly see that in person, you know?
Still have to settle for cutscenes.
Let's go, Hundo!
Let's go,
Hundo! Let's go! Did you at least get it?
I don't know if I got it.
I
got it! Holy shit, I got it! What the fuck?
This stream's done. I'm going to get groceries. Okay. I'm done. I'm done.
I don't want to end up sounding like too much of a broken record saying, oh, of course I can recommend this person, that's why they're in the video, but still, I just gotta say it. Of course I would recommend Hybrid. I think he is a very fun speedrunner to watch. Like I said, very laid back and just somebody that I like talking to when I am in his streams. So definitely, yes, I would recommend. Check him out.
Exactly. How did you get decent at shoot 'em ups? Kirby. Lots of Kirby. Kirby Death Label.
Up next, we have BeamQueenSol, and I have to start this one out by shouting her out as my rival for Kirby Fighters 2 at K-Star this year. If you don't know what K-Star is, I do have a video on it. I'm really happy with how the video came out because I loved K-Star so much, but the thumbnail was kind of bad and it was super long, so oopsie doops, nobody watched it. But that's not important. Let's talk about Sol. And what we're going to start with is what, as I've noticed, is a pattern here. Sol has a very good second place time for the classic Kirby games. This was actually first place for a while, about a year ago until last month when Hybrid stole the title.
What the fuck just happened?
She does, however, also have very good times for the trilogy of Kirby's Dream Land, as is KDL 1, KDL 2, KDL 3, as well as a very good flagship trilogy, that is Nightmare in Dreamland, Amazing Mirror, Squeak Squad. Very good times for both, which is not an easy feat, considering how different all of these games are. Of course, just like all the other runners that we're talking about today, she does also have very good times all around the board. 7th place for Guest Star Allies Go in Kirby Star Allies, 2nd place for No Stone Glitch in Kirby's Adventure, and a stunning world record for Meta Nightmare 100% in Nightmare in Dreamland. Of course, she does have other good times, but what I really would like to focus on, as I am obsessed with doing ability solos in Kirby's Return to Dreamland, it's my favorite way to speedrun the game, actually. She also has, for Nightmare in Dreamland in this case, several speedruns of ability solos in this game. I just gotta say, I love other people that aren't me joining in the spotlight for doing ability solos. It's just such fun, and I really hope that more people give it a shot because you love abilities, you love the games. It's a perfect mix. Oh, was that a pun? Unlike Aston and Hybrid, who are more laid back, Sol is definitely a lot more comparable to me in terms of the energy she brings to her streams, which I very much appreciate. Nothing wrong with being laid back, of course, I love it, but when something exciting happens or something confusing, and Sol is just screaming, what? Because what the heck just happened, of course, it's a lot of fun, and I really like it. And of course, while things are quieter, she is also still very entertaining, very fun. I just always appreciate somebody that has, I guess, consistency like Sol does. I guess to piggyback off of something that I talked about before with the ability solos, on top of the super fun energy that she had, I do need to shout her out a second time for what she did at K-Star, because obviously, if you cannot tell by her name, she is a huge fan of Beam. I also very much like Beam, but I can definitely tell you right now, she likes Beam way more than I do, and when she was at K-Star this year, she, despite the meta for Kirby Fighters 2 being you know, not using Beam, she actually bought it for Chapter 4 and had a fairly competitive time. She also had, despite not being from Japan, almost the entirety of the Japanese viewer base behind her because she was using Beam attack memes throughout the whole thing, and they found that really funny. Of course, we also on the Western side found it funny. You'll love to see it. Something that's also fun about Sol is that she does way more than just Kirby. Just looking at the past 2 months of her streaming, at the time of recording this video, as I should always preface, Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green, Minecraft, Spyro the Dragon, Yohane the Parhelion, and who could possibly forget she played Among Us! She actually did that with me and a group of other people, so you know she's based because, hey, she did a collab with me.
This might be an awkward situation. Alright, yeah. Wait! What the hell? You're seeing this, right?
Something that I can actually use as a link for all of them is that they all stream pretty late into the day. So while, of course, I'm going to recommend you check out Sol streams like now, I can also say that if I am streaming and I stop, you know that she is a potential streamer that you can check out once I am finished. What's nice about Sol compared to everybody else, though, is that sometimes she starts streaming before I do. She is one of those people that tends to stream for a very long time, and her energy is always super wonderful and fun. So if I'm not streaming yet, or if I have already streamed, and you're looking for somebody else, chances are, if Sol is going to be streaming that day, you can go from me to her. Highly recommended.
Oh no. Yo, the fire super jump! Hold on! The excellent fire super jump, okay. That was really cool. Someone clip that. Holy shit.
Up next on the list of speedrunners of the Kirby variety, that Claire Fluffle is telling you to go watch right heckin' now, we have Mr. Shasta. Now, this is a name that you might actually already know, but I have to bring him up because, despite the fact that he has several excellent runs across very many different games, Kirby or not, he used to hold the world record for a good almost 2 years, I believe, for 100% Kirby Superstar Ultra. And it's Superstar Ultra, you know me in that game, so yes, I gotta talk about it. But as with everybody else on here, Shasta is not a one-trick pony. He has very good times for categories like All Treasure Roads in Kirby and the Forgotten Land, guest star allies with the Mage Sisters, Any Percent, and several other categories for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And actually, the Meta Nightmare Trilogy for the multiple Kirby games actually has the world record for that too. Of course, he also does have a good time for all classic titles, but I want to mention the Meta Nightmare Trilogy because that's actually a world record. Holy moly!
So that's what happens if I get good luck there. That saves me 12 seconds over my PB. Because I not do that strat in PB. Hello? 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 Oh god. Oh god. Oh god! No! I'm done. No, I'm done. It's over.
Definitely have to bring up about Shasta. Not only is Kirby Superstar Ultra a game that he had a world record in at some point, which, you know, me, huh? He is currently also doing a DS Destruction. What the heck is that? He is basically looking to at least play every single game that came out for the Nintendo DS, and you know the DS is my favorite thing, so I also gotta give it to him in that regard. It's just amazing how many of these things line up with my own personal interests. So if you're thinking, yeah, you know what, I like Kirby speedrunners, but I want to watch them play something other than Kirby. Well, in the last 2 months alone for the DS, Shasta has played Custom Robo Arena, Dragon Ball Origins, Sonic Rush Adventure, Pokemon Dash, Lego Rock Band, Rayman 2, The Great Escape, Ragnarok DS, Final Fantasy 3, New Super Mario Bros, Imagine Party Planner. There's just a lot of DS games that he's playing. He's already about 200 games in and still has over 1,400 to go. So, Yeah, you might want to wish him luck. As for the streams themselves, I always love how welcoming they always feel. Shasta just has this natural way of talking and presenting himself that just kind of makes me feel invited when I join his streams. Of course, that's something that with a lot of people, including the other Kirby runners that we're talking about, if they are friendly people, then they're going to make you feel invited. But with Shasta, it always feels so outward, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, I know he hasn't streamed Kirby Superstar Ultra in long enough. You know, at the time of this recording, he didn't stream it, like, I don't know, yesterday. So if you're watching this, Shasta, you know what I'd recommend you do, but... And while some of the other streamers have gotten smaller spotlights at this place, Shasta is very notable for having multiple appearances on stage at GDQs. Probably the one that most people will recognize him from is his run of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which really, I think, did a lot for getting that game some spotlight in the gameplay department, really getting people to see what that game can ultimately be like. That's kind of what I try to do every day with my streams and videos, so I really appreciate that Shasta is able to get on a stage that big and tell a bunch of people by showing them, hey, these games are really, really cool.
I know what that does. You ain't fooling me. Alright, hard spots right here. Pay attention. Woo! Okay, good. Hard spots literally can take some of my power, it seems. I got so lucky there, by the way.
While this recommendation is probably very late because Shasta is by far the most recognizable streamer out of all of them, I still definitely recommend giving his channel a shot. If you go in there, you're gonna have a good time, Shasta's gonna be happy to have you, and there's just gonna be good feels all around. I know I keep saying that for everybody, but you know what makes Shasta's more unique. I already mentioned it. And speaking of things that I already mentioned, I'm just gonna say it for the third time here. Kirby Superstar Ultra is the best game ever.
Bro, the all chamber. It's real. I don't think I've ever gotten an all chamber before.
And finally, the last streamer that I am going to recommend today is Ralu27. Listen, as somebody who has Kirby Fan 66 for so long, I always appreciate when somebody has numbers in their name. I just wanted to get that out of the way. However, it's not just the numbers. Ralu is an excellent Kirby speedrunner, and while I definitely think the vibes of the stream are fun, as I will explain later, this is definitely one where the quality of the runs are consistently going to be top-notch. Whether or not he actually still has the world record for these categories or not, doesn't really matter considering how many he's held at one point. There's Kirby's Dream Land Normal Mode, Kirby's Adventure Any %, Kirby's Dream Land 3, literally every category on speedrun.com, Kirby 64, Forgotten Land, both Any % and True Ending, Kirby Air Ride Top Ride, as well as Triathlon, and having a pretty decent shot at getting the world record for City Trial, and not to mention there's other games where even if he hasn't held world record, he has an excellent time.
Did I hit him at all? A little. My Wiimote died. I didn't even get hit by any of the lightning.
And yes, I'm gonna say this, you know it's coming, I have to bring it up. He has a very, very good time for the classic Kirby games speedrun. I guess this video turned into a follow-up on my classic Kirby games video from a couple years ago, or last year, I don't know how long it was, time is an illusion. If you like classic Kirby games, you're probably gonna find one of the streamers I'm talking about playing them, so go check out any of their streams if you like classic Kirby or not classic Kirby. They play a lot of Kirby. Ralu is also one of the insane people who has performed tasks before. Tasks being tool-assisted speedrun, where you use tools to kind of manipulate every single input per frame that you can do in a game, where it's less about using your own skills to get to the top and more so about planning in your head a perfect route and putting it into motion. So not only is creating a task very impressive, but he's also created full game nips for some of the games that he has world record for, such as Kirby's Dream Land Normal Mode. The task I was talking about before is reminiscent of that, as well as Kirby's Adventure Any %, which is a category where you clip into a slope in the first level of the game, use stone underwater, and skip to the credits. But if that wasn't enough, then he also has it for Kirby 64 100%, so yeah, Ralu is up to a lot. He is very knowledgeable about these games, and as I said, the skill is there to back it up as well. Which is why when something goes wrong for these, which, I mean, these are Kirby speedruns, it's gonna happen. Not only are speedrunning in general very hard, but a lot of these games also have, yeah, a lot of RNG to them. I don't know, I guess you could say it's sad because it's obvious that he deserves some of these speedrun records sooner than he gets them, but also, like, we're on Twitch, seeing people, you know, struggle for that food. It's just, it's kind of funny. I'm sorry if you're watching this, I don't mean to laugh at you, but at the same time, I don't know, it's entertaining. But, okay, Kirby's fun and everything, but you know what Ralu does also stream? You guessed it, Super Mario Maker 2. Yeah, Kirby speedrunner and Mario Maker 2 player. I mean, we all know Mario Maker. We all know the appeal of streaming Mario Maker levels. It gets absolutely insane. And seeing a skill set from Kirby carry over to Mario and vice versa, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool.
Got no plans to PB today anyway. Huh? What?
I guess I did kind of wind up sounding like a broken record, despite the fact that I really didn't want to, but to sound like a broken record one more time, yes, check out Ralu's streams. They are excellent, they are very high quality, and they are very, very fun. Also, check out Shasta streams, and Solos, and Hybrids, and Astons. Do it! Do it! You better! I really hope that highlighting all of these amazing runners has piqued your interest in, well, all of them, but if even one has caught your attention, then I'd be happy. I'd love if more people, either as spectators or as runners, or if you want to be super epic, both, got into Kirby speedruns, and that's not gonna happen with just one person running it, i.e. me, you know, the cutest puppy you've ever seen. Not to mention, everyone I've spoken about today are very good friends. They're incredibly friendly people. They're very happy to talk and chat during their own streams. They're also a lot smarter than I am, and, you know, like, actually focus on their runs. But still, they're happy to have you. And I'm happy to have you. Shoot, I did already say I wouldn't beg for subscribers this time. Oh, but hey, I didn't say anything about being a puptrin on Patreon or a mempup on YouTube. I'm desperate. Anyway, if you'd like to go the extra mile in supporting me, you can do so by doing what I said earlier. Wow, I stuttered and I'm not going to do that retake. You get nifty perks, including early access to all future videos. Special thanks to my head-patting, falafel fan puptrins and mempups, Freakish Uproar, Lydia Scribe, Nightfall, and Chris. I love you all! I would definitely recommend your channels in these videos if you were to get into Kirby speedrunning. Wait, actually, me recommending your videos, that's not a perk. So actually, take that one back. I probably wouldn't do it. Well, that sounds really bad, though. I'm getting nervous. I'm so indecisive. Bye!